All right, guys. So today is I'm going to be working on decorating. Okay. So I have my project here. So this is the section that I'm going to be working on decorating right now. Okay. What I do want you to realize is that I want my mug to sit kind of like this. I have started working on it already. Okay. I have a portion of it, like I've added. I'll do like this. So this is the side that's going to point out when I take a drink from my mug. I mean, it's not done. It's in process. Okay. Here's one. I'm going to have 3 panels. This is one, and then I've got my flower spot, and then I'm going to put a mushroom right here. Okay. So you have to be extra careful as you're working on this, because if you set it down funny, you end up squashing your bits and pieces if they're close to the base of your mug. Okay. So this stage right here is a stage where you're going to add all your details on. I would not recommend adding your handle on until after you get the decorations done. And all full disclosure here, I have not had the ability to work on my project for a couple of days because, well, when I recorded this video, we had 2 snow days, and then the third day I had a doctor's appointment, so I wasn't actually in school. So this project has sat for 5 days because I did my last video on Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today is Thursday. Okay. So if you look right here, it's still flexible, which means it is at what stage, guys? Soft, leather, hard. Okay. Now, mind you, the more water you add to this, the softer it gets. So you may have it at soft, leather, hard, and then you add additional water to it, and you take it back to almost a what do you call it? A plastic stage. Okay. So you have to be extra careful about that. All right. So what I'm going to do is you have to like design things. You see my score marks here? You make your designs. I've got a piece right here. Let's see if it fits. You have to be extra careful and not squash the heck out of your piece. Okay. So you can turn it upside down, all this good stuff, to chop part of this off because I don't need all of that. Okay, can I go like this? I probably can. Okay, but I think I want this to be just that's actually not bad. So I do that. I come through, I score, right? Because you got to score everything. Anything that you want to stay attached, guess what you do? You score it, people. Remember? Okay, you got to score it. And then you add your water, because your water and your clay, your crumbles and your clay squished together. I think I want to score that again because I scored that a little bit ago, and I feel like that's a little on the dry looking side. So I'm going to put a little more water on there. Okay, because I want to get enough slip to where it's going to stay connected. Okay, and I'm going to attach it by blending it. If you don't blend it a little bit, guess what happens? It just looks, sometimes it just doesn't look good. You need to make sure that you're blending your bits and pieces together. Okay, there's that. Okay, so I've added that. Tools are great for areas that you can't actually get your fingers into. Okay, so I've got a tool right here. I'm going to squash that down a little bit. That actually had debris all over it, which was really dumb of me, but oh well. There we go. So I've got that. Okay, make sure your crumbles stay off your table, off your workspace. You don't want that. I'm going to come through and I'm going to pinch that a little bit to get that to, like, I don't want any big creases and crevices and cracks and stuff. Okay, so I just added that. Is it perfect right now? Nope, but that's okay because it's in process. All right, and I'm going to carve the heck out of this, but that's at another stage. I'm going to carve in here. There's a lot of carving that I'm going to do. I've got to redefine the tail a little bit. All right, so I'm literally going through, and I will tell you, it is really important that you guys actually like have a game plan. Sketch out your design. If you don't, it just doesn't work all that well, guys. You really, I can't stress that enough. You really need to have a game plan, because if you don't, it just looks like a hot mess. And Lord knows we don't want a hot mess for our project. So, oops, that off. Then I'm going to come through. I'm going to score. I'm going to do that all over the place. I'm going to score it. I'm going to water it. I'm going to stick it together. Okay. All right. So that's what you guys are doing. The handle is, I would attach the handle once you have once you have all of your surface decorations at least pretty much settled, okay? If you add that too soon, I did have one student who added it a little bit too soon, and she's struggling doing the decorations on the handle. So my suggestion is make sure that you are, and I'm sorry you can't actually see this as I'm doing it. I'm just literally blending, kind of blending it in a little bit, okay? Because, well, I want it to go in, but I can't set it down because I have decorations all over. So it's easier to do if I have, there you go. That looks pretty good. Okay. So there's that. So I've got that right there. I need to add another one right here. Okay. Oops. Squashed it hard. Let's go up just a tiny. There we go. I fixed it. Even though I did kind of crush it a little bit, it's okay. All right. That looks fine. Up at the top, make sure that you're not having like big globby things hanging in. You want your interior to be nice and smooth, guys. It makes it a lot easier to actually like clean it if it's relatively clean, okay? So you don't want a lot of detail or textures on the interior because, well, textures on the interior collects food particles and beverage particles. You make hot cocoa in it and you end up with a whole bunch of extra stuff in there. Yuck, gross, can't even tell you how icky I think that would probably taste. I just, a smooth interior and a smooth lip is definitely the way to go. I probably will carve these down a little bit. Okay, so I've got my flower here. Look, I've got score marks all over. Can you see the score marks? You can't really see them. I can see them. There are score marks there. I've got no score marks to see of right here, but I did squash this right here. So I'm just going to keep adding my bits and pieces on. And I'm going to show you what it's going to look like in just a couple of seconds. So I'm going to pause for a little bit and then I'm going to work on it. Okay. Pause. All right. So I have worked for the last probably, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. I have that right there started. It's in process. It's not 100%, but I need to adjust it a tiny bit. We've got that right there. We've got our second X. It's a little, needs to be adjusted. Got the flower, there with this X right here. I did not get time to do the mushroom. I will have to do that tomorrow. I've not added the handle yet, but just remember that this is at a soft leather hard stage. It's the best time to add your details and stuff. This is not done. This is in process, guys. This is definitely not how it's going to look in the end. It is going to be adjusted a whole bunch. I'm going to carve in. I'm going to make things look the way that I want them to look. I've added extra clay on to get me to that point to where I can do some of the things that I want to do. Please, for the love of everything that's good, do not be basic. Basic is so boring, and you don't want to be boring people in this life, okay? You want to be amazingly awesome. So be amazingly awesome and, do something that's like inspiring, okay? Because inspiring is so much cooler than, basic. All right, so here we go. This is where we're at. Third step, this is what we're doing. And this is going to take a very long time to get this to the next step. So you just keep working on it, all right?